So if you watch my other videos, I always say that because sometimes I talk about things and I'm not sure if people just found me randomly through a search or if they've actually been watching my videos. So, you know that I'm trying to get into using a drop spindle. And so I've been looking a lot on, mostly on Etsy, just because I like how it's easier for me to look at and it's like laid out nicer. Whereas like on eBay, some people just like write really weird descriptions. It's all over the place. I'll use all capital letters because I'm screaming in my description. You know, I don't like it. And then so usually I try to go on Etsy. Plus I like supporting like handmade artists and small businesses. So I was trying to find a good deal still though, because I know some of the people on there jack up prices because it works though, but I can't force myself to do it. When they jack up prices, people think it's better, so they sell more of it. And I've had friends tell me you should jack up the prices on your stuff, and I was like, no, I would feel like that's wrong, like almost like I'm cheating everybody, and then it takes away the magic of it or something. So I try to keep my prices really good, but and some people on Etsy do that too. So I'm looking for those people who are, you know, selling it for what it's worth basically, and still getting themselves some income for the time and effort that they put into things, etc. You know. But wool roving is expensive on most of the sites because they're usually like hand dyed and this and this and this. But I was at the Indian store in Vista, which is in Southern California. I was visiting some friends in Escondido, and Vista I think is like 15, 20 minutes away from there. And Escondido is about 45 minutes from where I live in La Mesa. And they had, what does the tag say? It says wool for dream catchers in assorted colors, and they had the most beautiful moss colored green there. My friend said it looked like, I think he said baby poop or something, or he says I usually don't like greens like that because they're ugly, but this is kind of nice. And if he says it's nice, then you know, because he's usually pretty honest and negative on things, but like he's a Discordian, so if you know what that is, maybe you'll understand. But I found bags of it, 5 yards of it. Was it 5 yards? I have to check. Yeah, 5 yards. And it was a really great price. And I was like, this cannot be true. I mean, I bought 3 bags. And I was like, okay, well, I'll use two for me when I'm trying to learn how to spin because I don't want to waste yarn that's really expensive. And then I'll put one on my Etsy site to share this like great deal. And if people actually like it, then I can get more. But I had to sell it as a supply because I didn't personally make it. But it looks handmade to me. And most of the stuff in there, I mean, not all of it's really like mass produced or anything. So here it is. Isn't that a pretty color? It's like moss green or something. Like I want to lay in it. Oh, there's my beard. But then I brought it back to the house that I was, at, and trying to find an end piece. So here's the end right here. And when we're spinning, from what I understand, you're kind of just gonna like draw pieces out of it, and it kind of pulls apart, and then it ends up turning it and making yarn. But let's take a piece off. So give me a second to roll this so you can actually see it, not be a big old ball of fluff. So I'm looking at it, and she's a fiber arts. She's one of my fiber arts friends. She does a lot of knitting, crocheting. She makes a lot of things, so she knows what she's talking about. She does this and takes it off a piece, looks at it, then pulls out her lighter. You see how that I know my thing's not very good at focusing. Maybe you can see it better if I bunched up. That means it's acrylic. It's fake yarn. So they tagged it as wool, so I thought it was wool roving, so I was all excited. But it was still great to practice with. I don't think I'm going to be putting one on the Etsy site, because unless somebody actually wants me to, because usually this much of the wool roving, I've seen the cheapest was like $8 or something. I have to check again though, so don't quote me on that. I was going to sell this for like 4 or 5 or something, because that's not too much more than what I paid for them. But because I have to do listing prices and stuff, or pay for listings and all that. But yeah, so it's fake. But it feels like it's okay. Like one of my other friends, when I was asking her questions about where she bought her spindle and everything, she said some of the hand-dyed wool is really slippery, so I should get undyed. And this stuff is kind of not scratchy, but it feels like the acrylic yarn that I've used for like poppets and stuff. Like it wouldn't slip too much, but we'll see. But then again, it's also like bunched up like this, so it could just be that. It might be slippery when I actually try to spin it. I also want to get my spinning wheel fixed somehow. It's like dying in the living room. But yeah, so that's that. I got all excited, and it's such a pretty color. I'm like, oh, I'd wear this if I could figure out how to crochet or knit. I've tried to crochet and knit. I'm way too impatient for it. I'm too impatient for Viking knit because it takes so long, but I do it so quickly that I'm like, okay, I can actually see what I'm doing. Whereas when I've tried to crochet and knit, I mess up so bad. Like, I can't, it's not for me. At least not yet. I might try when I'm older or something. Maybe I'll have more patience, I guess. Or maybe I'll force myself to learn eventually. But right now I have so many projects going on that, that's not a good idea. So there's that. And also, I was thinking if I could get it into yarn, I could also use it on my whipcord bobbins, because I was going to make like spirit cords and whatnot for people, and or also my site, or also to work on like witches' ladders or something. But there's so many sites already selling them, so I kind of feel like that's pointless almost. Yeah, and they were like they were selling them for like super jacked up prices too. Like, hi, I'm selling this yarn witch's ladder for $75. It probably cost me about $5 to make, because sometimes the yarns they're using are expensive, or it depends on the length and everything they're using too. And if they're using charms, I can understand more price because charms are expensive. But none of the ones I've seen are worth $75. But maybe they're going through rituals and stuff with them and they put a lot of energy. I don't know what they're doing or why they're charging that much, but I wouldn't charge that much. I think I'm doing a witches ladders class in a couple of weeks, and I'm charging only like $10. So that's me teaching it, and that's paying mostly for the supplies only. Right, so anyway, thank you for watching. I'm gonna do another video soon. I'm trying to do more videos because I've had people like, oh, I watch all your videos, when are you gonna make another one? And I'm like, you actually watch my videos? Like, it's kind of like, I feel like I'm basically just talking to myself most of the time, you know? Well, I am talking to myself on my camera, but people actually tell me they watch my videos. It's surprising. I don't know why it surprises me though, because I make these and put them on YouTube and there's like a bajillion people on here. So anyway, thank you for watching my complaint about this wool roving. But you might see it on my shop if I get good at it. And I have, since I have 3 bags of it, you might see some in the shop. But of course I will be marking it correctly. So thank you for watching.